But you get the idea. It's pretty cool, especially if you can start with your own music and then have it extend and improve upon the music you're trying to create. Here's another little guitar thing that I uploaded the other day.
Fire crew just arrived.
And here's what it turned it into.
Morning light, it's shining bright. Coffee brewing, let's take flight. In the kitchen, you and me, dancing around.
Captain's training the rookie. The rookie appears to be a woman. I love that.
Toast is popping, butter's hot.
I mean, it's something I probably listen to, like got some Death Cab for Cutie vibes or something. If I'm being totally honest, out of all of the AI tools that I play with, Suno's probably the one that I spend the most time playing with lately. Like, I just have so much fun with this tool. Anyway, I'm gonna move on.
Tiller up there to turn the rear wheels has got me. That's amazing to me.
To train AI on its customers' work. People freaked out last week about a terms of service update that implied that they would train on anything you made in Adobe Cloud. So if you made anything in Photoshop, then Adobe has the right to train on that. I think it was probably just poor wording, but they're now backtracking and saying that's not what we're saying at all. We're not actually going to train on your work, and now they're rewriting those terms of service.
The driver on these things is called the engineer, and this is the tiller man back in the back here. Tiller person, I guess, nowadays. I remember I was too short to be a cop or fireman in the city, but
because I did make a fully dedicated video called Apple's
well, this is great.
Unveiling.
We got a little something going on here.
And well, it's 22 minutes long. So
are they going to rescue a kitty or something?
This video, because that would add 22 minutes-ish to the length of this video. But here's the ultra-fast rundown. Apple's building their own AI, and it's going to be in everything. It's going to be on iOS. It's going to be on iPad.
Wow.
Mac.
And it's a wooden ladder.
Apple Vision Pro.
Isn't that cool?
Pretty much all of the normal consumer devices are getting AI. You're going to be able to do things like proofread and rewrite and summarize and get the key points from pretty much any text, including things like email. They're adding AI vision.
They're just practicing.
Both the notes and the calculator apps. So you can take the notes inside of the Notes app, it'll summarize it, it will actually be able to read any sort of images that are on the screen. If you write any math on the screen, it will actually be able to solve those math problems for you.
Takes me back, man.
Your email inbox, if you're using like an iPhone, is going to get completely overhauled. It's going to make the messages that it feels are priority messages rise to the top, and it's also going to give you a quick summary. Typically, this first line of an email is like the first piece of a sentence from the email, but now it's actually summarizing what the email's about into one sentence using AI. So, invited to a Zakaya soft opening by Florence tonight. Check in for flight to New York. Order lunch and coffee for Anita's 12 p.m. meeting. It sort of summarized all this stuff instead of just showing you the first sentence, making a quick glance at your email much more useful.
Looks like he's tying it off to the rail.
We get a quick summary. We'll also generate smart replies. They selected the text of the message, and then it asks questions. Will you be joining? Will you be driving or taking an Uber? You answer these questions, and it writes a reply with the responses in it. They're also doing
I don't think I tied a knot in 5 years firefighting.
You can see the example here. This person has a text message, and it says invite for dinner with
6 years in the Navy, 3 active.
Of the text, it's summarizing the text message, so you don't have to open it and read it right this moment. You can
But I
just
probably learned them, testing them, but I still can't tie a square knot.
Here's one from Instacart, here's one from Slack. Here's another example where it determined this one was possibly important. It says Chloe needs to be picked up at 2:30 p.m. This, to me, is probably going to be one of the most handy features to just at a glance get a summary of any of your notifications. They're rolling out a new image generation feature that they call Image Playground. This is Apple's model that generates images just like Meta's Emu, just like Adobe's Firefly, Google's Imagine. Well, Apple has Image Playground. And it doesn't do realistic. It only allows you to do animations, illustrations, and sketches. So they're obviously trying to avoid their tools being used for things like deepfakes. I also really like this UI where it's got these images, cat, party, chef, and then it makes a cat party chef, right? So it's kind of got this different UI where you can see the various contexts that it's going to try to blend into a single image. It's also going to be able to know what people look like in your contacts. So if you've got a contact and it actually can see their image, you'll be able to generate images of those people. But again, only in
Well, there goes
styles.
the man with the trash.
Here's another example where you can see the
He's talking to me now and being friendly. The
emojis with AI. It appears
we'll see if the people out after the election
This can also be used as tapbacks, so instead of just thumbs up, thumbs down, haha, exclamation, etc., you can now use any emoji, including the Genmojis that you created. There's some new photo editing features, so you can remove people in the background, clean up your photos a little bit, new contextual awareness of photos, so you can do more semantic search.
where I was, white on your helmet meant that you were a captain.
Memories. You can give a prompt like everything we ate in Japan, Leo treating with a spooky vibe, last summer in a garden.
The one getting on the ladder now is obviously the rookie.
Siri's getting a bunch of updates. You're gonna be able to type
Even got a brand new looking uniform, huh?
When you do use Siri,
Or pants.
it's also going to try to run
And
the
the
AI
coat,
directly
yeah.
on the device, and it's going to know the context of your apps and your emails and your text messages and anything you want to give it access to. It will know that stuff. So you can say, hey, what was I supposed to do today? And it'll
Now he's unsaying it.
email, your messages, and across all of the context of communications, figure out if there's anything you're supposed to remember to do today. That is going to be able to do
Good job,
directly on
kid.
the device. There's also a Apple Cloud, which is supposedly completely secure, so they're not storing any identifiable information on you. In fact, from what I understand, all the information is encrypted, so they don't even know what your information is when it sends to the cloud. And then the third option is they're partnering with OpenAI, so if you ask Siri a question that OpenAI is better suited to answer, it will actually ask you, do you want us to send this question to ChatGPT for you?
On Silicon Valley, you ship homes unreal. It's real, and you only need to console and schedule a tour. Here's my solution. Hey, it's my fish waiting on the run. One small problem.
Tired of hearing I'm still hungry? We got protein. New Eggo fully loaded waffles.
In fact, here's a quick screenshot of what that looks like. You ask Siri a question, you want me to use ChatGPT to do that. You can either cancel or use ChatGPT. But really, there are so many.
Yeah, San Francisco's famous for their wooden ladders. They've got, I mean, some of these ladders are literally 100 years old, and they still make them, I believe. But like the cable cars, like the DPW people with concrete, there's some really talented craftsmen working for the city. Of the 35,000 workers, there are a lot of artisans in their trades. But that just took me back, man. And we used to practice stuff like that all the time, all that. But they're at like, what, 6 or 7, and what time is it? 5:43. Hell, this is supper time. What are you doing out practicing? Well, they had their sirens on when they came, so it's possible that they had a call and decided to practice. That makes sense. That makes sense. What the hell? Yeah. So, Bulldog closing out. Some beans on the stove here.
Apple devices will be banned at my companies. This is an unacceptable security violation. Just to clarify, OpenAI is not operating at the OS level. In fact, they made it very clear that when you ask Siri a question, it's going to try to use the on-device or Apple Cloud service first, and then try to use ChatGPT if ChatGPT is going to give the better answer. And even when it uses ChatGPT, it's going to anonymize any sort of information. ChatGPT is not even going to give you an IP address.